Welcome to my channel and to the first episode of We moved to France and renovate an old house. The whole idea started at the beach, not this one, but very close to here in Cap de Lumi, where we used to go on holiday with our family. Have done so for many years, and in 2022 we were there with a friend and his family, and we were at the beach talking about our kids surfing, and he asked me, what do you think, how long will it take them to learn to surf properly? And I said, well, if we live here for a year, I think they'd be really good at it. And that kicked off a conversation about having a place close by, like a second home, to share with several families. And that idea stuck. And he went on to search for houses, and my wife and I, already on a long road trip home from that holiday, we thought, well, it might seem a little bit crazy to move to France for a year with 4 kids, but the idea was very appealing, and we thought about it, and we're doing it. In December 2022, we looked at a house and bought it in 23. Now it's 1 year later, and we're in France again, and we're preparing actually to move here in summer. And in this episode we will look at some of the obstacles we had this Easter holiday to get the house ready to stay here for 10 days. And also I'll show you the house. Yeah, enjoy. Our family lives in Werder, which is a city close to Berlin. And we started this trip, my friend and I, by car and the others by train, just before Easter, and went via Cologne into the evening, northern France, where we discovered upside down signs, and continued into the night through Paris, which was actually a good idea because of the traffic. And then we continued through the night and into a beautiful morning into southern France. In the early afternoon, we arrived in the region and at the house. And we were actually quite nervous because the last time we had visited was already 8 months ago. There was one particular thing we were nervous about, which was one wall that we were afraid could have moved. So when I got out of the car, the first thing I wanted to do was look at the wall. But when I came in, I realized it was really humid. So I went and opened all the windows to get some air inside. But then I went into the room, and we're gonna pause here for a second, and you can see that we attached a little metal plate to one of the beams to see if the wall had moved. And we were really lucky, it hadn't moved at all, which means that this wall is actually pretty stable. However, it had rained a lot in winter, and the humidity in the house caused another problem. So unfortunately we have mold on the walls. Let me show you. And on the ceiling. And this room as well, where I wanted to sleep. So yesterday I sprayed it all with it's I think chlorine, and now we have to wash it off, and then afterwards we can paint it with a special paint. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start painting. So I finished painting. I ended up painting only the parts where there was mold with a special color or paint. And now it's finished. And now it's time to clean the rooms and get them ready for the kids. So I was quite happy how it turned out, and it was just enough time for the paint to evaporate. And then just before the kids and my wife arrived, we also got a trampoline to put up in the garden so that they can enjoy the garden and the spring, which is a little bit earlier in southern France than in northern Germany. Yeah, and then it was time to have a little bit of a holiday. Today we're at the beach to see a surfing contest in Biarritz, which is really, really nice. It's a beautiful day.
Deuxième position pour le bleu à la recherche de 4,51. Troisième le jaune à la recherche de 1,58 pour faire second. Dernière vague du rouge à 70. Le rouge qui a besoin de 3,71. C'est encore très serré. Tout peut se passer.
This is the tour of the house, and when you come to the house you don't actually see much of the house. You see a long driveway, and let's walk down to the house. So from the upper garden we walk down to a lower garden where the house is situated. This used to be two different properties that now are combined into one, and we'll walk down these nice stairs to get to the house. The house is 300 years old, 303 years old right now, and we have no plans from the original house, of course. We know that it was a cleric who lived here, and that was probably built in several parts because the walls have different thicknesses. The entrance is in the middle of the house, where we enter a small hallway. The house is in a little of a chaotic state right now. We're just about to leave from holidays that we spent here, and we've made some rooms available to live in, and some others are still in a very rough state. And when you come in, this to the right hand side used to be probably the old kitchen. And right now we're storing all the tools here. And in the corner there's an old stove and a place where you were able to use water that then runs through the wall. It's kind of cool. Next to this room is another room. And the people that lived here, they were an old couple. They used to have their sleeping room here. So there's a small bathroom here. It's actually not that small, but pretty run down. And that's the west side of the house, actually, here through the window. So in the afternoon there's sun coming through, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's go back. That was the northern part of the ground floor, and now we're going into the southern part of the ground floor, where we have a living room that we're also already using. And from here you get into what's called the grange. Which is the room that sits lower than the other rooms. And right now we're storing some wood here. We haven't done anything really to this room. And the former owners, they built a little, cellar for the wine here. We're back at the entrance, and in between the northern rooms and the southern rooms, there's the kitchen. And at the end of the kitchen, we have a little addition to the house that the former owners built. And we're not gonna keep this. We're gonna change it, but we're gonna have a similar place somewhere here because the view is fantastic. And this is the west side, so in the afternoon and the evening there's a lot of sun here and very nice view. Right now, next to this little room is also the place where the former owners used to wash. And it's just a really small room, very basic. We're actually using the washing machine right now. We're now gonna go upstairs and take a little lamp because some of the rooms don't have light. Up here we have 4 rooms basically and a small bathroom, and 2 of the rooms are actually usable. One is here to the north. it also has a chimney for a little oven. And then to the south we have 2 rooms connected to each other. And this room has a little, what they call a mezzanine. So you can climb up the ladders, and there's a little space there. I'm quickly gonna walk up the mezzanine steps to show you where it leads. We've got some camping stuff here. There's a little window and some toys right now. And then we have this little sleeping room which gets a lot of sun. So these 2 are the rooms that we can actually use, or 3 rooms that we can actually use. And then there's a bathroom over here. Basically a small bathroom there with a shower. And then there's a little toilet here. Yeah, it's not the nicest of places. And behind this bathroom is another large room that sits lower than the other rooms as well, because the place beneath it is lower as well. Pretty large place. The hot water boiler sits here. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty raw, but it has a nice window out to the garden. Okay, let's see the last room of the house. This is the northwestern part of the upper floor, and it has no light right now. I'm gonna use this light, and the former owners started to renovate this, but didn't finish. Aren't close to finishing. Yeah, there's supposed to be windows over there that they didn't put in yet, and there's a small window over here. The house has a very little attic over these 2 rooms, or part of the rooms. Unfortunately, this door is broken. And we need some light. And then we can go up here. Up here under the roof we end this tour. I hope you liked this episode. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, and join me next time when I'll show you around the garden.